All right, welcome everybody. It's Monday, September 16th, 2024. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. Glad to be back with you. Literally grateful just to be alive. And I don't mean that just in terms of the fact that we barely made it with operating costs. I don't mean that. I mean literally glad to be alive because I almost died. For real. I'm like a cat, man. I got 9 lives, but I've narrowly, just in the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I guess, narrowly avoided the Grim Reaper many times. But out of all the times, this is the one time I thought I was for sure a goner. I really did. I really thought that was it for your boy. So Thursday was trying to get all everything we needed together to cover the operating costs, and I hadn't eaten in days, and I didn't have much money to spare to have everything towards the operating costs, and so I had to find something cheap to eat. Like I told you, I only eat once a day anyway, and I'm sorry guys, I'm still lingering around, but I'm better, but the effects this thing had on my body, I'm still recovering from. I ended up getting I had buy one get one double cheeseburgers at Burger King. So that's what I got because it's what I can afford. I don't normally eat that kind of shit anymore. I mean, I don't eat burgers and shit ever, but it's like fucking that's what I can afford. So that's what I got, and got all the operating costs made together. And that night, my stomach was in knots and hurting. I thought it was just stress related. I was like, oh, I'm just, I'm stressed and my stomach's in knots because I thought I was about to be on the street again for good this time. And, so I just, I thought that's what it was. And I couldn't afford to get a drink when I got the burger, so I was like washing down the water. I just thought, how I did sometimes. Had an upset stomach, that's all it was. And then it kept getting worse and kept getting worse, and I had indigestion, and I was like, oh, this is food poisoning. I could feel it coming. I was like, oh, fuck. Because I hadn't had food poisoning in a while. I think maybe 2018 was the last time I had it, but and then the brown water started. I had diarrhea. Oh, fuck. I told you, or I have told the story. I've told the story before about when I went to Mexico in 1999 I was supposed to go trip acid at the Mayan pyramids. This is before 9/11, so you have to have a passport back then. Just jumped on a plane and went. And as soon as the plane depressurized, my guts went, start gurgling. As people are deboarding the plane, I'm fucking running because I know the check's in the mail. I'm running to the airplane bathroom, push people out of the way. They think I'm trying to cut in front of them to get out. They're like, hey, can't cut. I'm like, I'm gonna shit myself. I screamed it. They let me out of the way. I was like, please, I gotta go to the bathroom. I get to the bathroom, drop my pants about a half an inch before my cheeks hit the fucking seat. Just brown water just comes, right? So I'm in there, everybody else is off the plane. I come out and I'm all fucking ghost white and fucked up. We go to the hotel. My friends are all partying, getting fucked up, drinking mezcal, banging Mexican whores, and fucking. I'm just in the bathroom, blowing mud. And the next day, all my friends are like, everybody's getting up, getting ready to go out to the Temple of Quetzalcoatl, and I'm fucking, still in the bathroom blowing mud. And my friends are like, I don't think he's like, you don't look good, bro. I was like, white, pale, and I was like, yeah, I don't, this is the worst I've ever felt. And they're like, we gotta get you to a doctor. So they took me to the hospital, they took me to a doctor, they took me to the emergency room. And turns out I had dysentery. They tell you not to drink the water in Mexico. I didn't drink the water. I breathed the fucking air in Mexico City. Dysentery from breathing the air in Mexico City. They admitted me to the hospital. They pumped me full of saline IV. I was in there for like 2 or 3 days. Finally, I was feeling better. My friends were coming to visit me, and they like brought the bill into me. They're like, "Here you go." It was, the only thing that sucked about it, you remember this is 1999, so there was no TV, the TV was just one of those old, like, 80s, like, rotary dial TVs, and everything was in Spanish, of course, and there was no closed captioning, because the TVs were all analog then. The food was good, I can say that, the food was fucking amazing in the hospital, but, they bring me the bill and it was like 200 pesos or something. And $200 was like what I had with me for the whole trip. That's all I had. I was like, 200 pesos? Like, I can't afford that. My buddy was like, yo, dog. I didn't know anything about conversion because I'd never been to Mexico before. We just got there. As soon as we got there, I had to go to the hospital. My buddy's like, yo, dog. 200 pesos is like $20. He's like, pulls a $20 bill out of his pocket. He's like, yeah, I got you. Gives me $20. I'm like, oh, yeah. It was like 3 days in a Mexican hospital was like $20. And I gotta say, the care was good. I mean, it was, as good as anything you can get in the States. And finally, we got back to feeling better. And by that time, I had to fly back. So I missed out on my chance to go to the Mayan pyramids. But my point is that on Thursday night and Friday night, I had it come out of both ends. Finally, when I puked, I felt better. I couldn't get anything to come up. This is most recently on Thursday and Friday, and then I had shit coming out of both ends. I was puking and shitting, and I was cold sweats, and I was freezing, go from freezing to death to sweating profusely, and I mean, it was the worst I ever felt in my life. I really, literally could feel that my body was dying. I never felt that before in my life, guys. I was dying. Literally dying. Finally, once I puked and I purged everything, then I started to feel better. But I still had, I tried to drink water to keep myself hydrated. That's important when you're, I had liquid IV and so I was trying to take that. And everything, I ate anything, it would just turn to water and run right out of me. So then I was trying to get some sleep, so I was like, okay. But I was afraid I was going to, shit myself and shit the bed while I was trying to sleep. So I didn't even take paper towel. I didn't even take toilet paper. I got paper towels. And I folded some paper towels up and I stuffed them in the crack of my ass while I was in the bed so I wouldn't shit the bed. And I had this mouse in my room for the past couple of weeks I've been trying to catch and I couldn't catch it. Used traps, baits, everything. I couldn't catch this thing. Apparently at some point during the time when I was passed out, I involuntarily pulled that toilet paper out of the crack of my ass and like just thrown it on the floor or whatever. So when I woke up, I noticed that the paper towels had been chewed by a mouse. Oh, fuck, that mouse is still in here. Dude. I looked over in the corner. The mouse was dead. Dead! Whatever was coming out of me, whatever I had was so toxic that when the mouse ate that paper towel that had the juice from my ass on it, it killed it. I thought I had Ebola or something. I'm not kidding you guys. I've never felt this in my life. I was saying Hail Marys. I was about to call a priest to come over and administer the last rites. I was fucking DEA dead. I was about to be dead. I still can feel how my body was traumatized from it. I mean, I'm better, but I can still feel that my body feels off. Like I went through a major trauma. Yeah. It was horrible. I've never seen anything like that. Whatever I had was so virulent that, because they test stuff on lab rats and lab mice and stuff, They test nasty shit on these things sometimes and it won't kill them. And then they'll say, oh, it's safe, and they'll give it to humans, and then, it's toxic to humans. But because it's a mice, they test them on mice because, a lot of times the mice are resilient to it. Dude, whatever came out of me killed a living creature. It killed a mouse. Can you believe? I've never even heard of that happening before. Have you guys ever heard anything like that happening? I haven't. That's one of the craziest stories I'll ever have to tell right there. I'm telling you guys, I was on death's door. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you to everybody who contributed. Helped us get the operating costs covered. Thank you. I love you. To all you who didn't contribute, eat a dick. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I've been through it, guys. This is the first time I've been able to even muster up the strength to get up here on the microphone and talk about it because I was fucked up. Like I said, I'm feeling better, but there's something still. I don't know. I can't describe it. It's just I still feel off. Like, how sometimes after you're sick, there's like a 3 or 4 days, sometimes like hangover kind of feeling from after you've been sick. That's what it feels like. So yeah, no more double cheeseburgers from Burger King for me ever. Because I'm telling you, that was the worst illness I've ever had in my life. When I did a week in the intensive care unit of Parkland Hospital in 2020, I didn't feel that. I never felt bad during that. I was just in bad shape. But I never really felt bad from it. You know what I mean? I didn't feel sick or better. And this was different. I thought I had the bubonic plague or fucking, I don't know what, Ebola or some shit. I pulled some Karen shit too, though. I called the fucking Burger King and asked to speak to the manager. I was like, look, I know times are tough, and I've worked in the food service industry my whole life, and I know that times like this, especially, food costs and keeping food costs down is very important. But you guys got to start following the food safety protocols, or you're going to kill somebody because you almost killed me, and I ought to sue your fucking asses. I was like, you guys are serving old meat. I know what happens when you serve old meat. Because, see, how it works, like McDonald's, Burger King, stuff like that, if you don't know. They cook the same thing with, like, KFC and stuff, too. They, like, cook the chicken, like, in the afternoon or morning time or something. They do all the food prep early in the morning. And then they store it in the cooler or heated devices and stuff. And then it's good for ever how many hours, then they have to throw it away and make more. So what these places are doing is, to save on food costs, they're not throwing this stuff away when they should be and making more. They're just keeping it in the warmer and still serving it. I know they are. Listen, I know all the tricks. I worked in the food service industry for years. So I know all the tricks. I know all the hacks. I know all the workarounds. I know all the stuff that shitty employees do. I knew it. And the fucking manager knew it when I told him to. I said, look, you got to seriously crack down on this shit, dude. You're going to kill somebody. And I damn near fucking died. I've never been that violently ill in my life. It was maybe the most traumatic illness I've ever had. And I don't ever want to experience anything like that ever again. Horrendous. So with that said, we're on zero. It took every penny to cover operating costs. So here's what needs to happen. I got a new film out. 24 on the year, 44th overall. This one's a masterpiece, guys. That's a truly masterpiece. When I watched the playback last night or this morning, or whenever it was when I was finished with it, man, this one's a masterpiece. It's called The Simulation Theory, Reality Manufactured. 73 minutes in the download. It's in the downloads for now. Get a copy, please. So I can eat. Here's what we gotta have. Okay, so we gotta raise $200 by Friday to keep the power on the internet on. It's gonna be shut off on Friday. So $200 our goal for the week. Buy as many downloads as you can. Everything else so I can eat. If all of those things happen, if I have money to eat, and we keep the power and the internet on, I'll have Anunnaki the movie out in the next 6 or 7 days. Now, understand, this movie's not going to be cheap. I'm telling you right now. It's not going to be cheap. I've got to make it expensive to keep the looky-loos, people who want to steal my info because they're out there, and it's already been done to me. And there's people who want this info badly. Well, you can have it if you're going to have to pay for it. All right? So, we got to raise at least $200 by Friday to keep the power and internet on. But I've got to, I need every single person listening to this to buy a copy of The Simulation Theory. Really, this is one of those films. I'm just so proud of this film. Proud of myself for the work I did on this. It's one of those that hits on all cylinders, like they really do. The writing, the editing, the graphics, the music. Everything. I'm just so proud of this film. I think it's one of my best, probably maybe top 2 or 3 best films I've ever made. It really is. So definitely get a copy right now, and help us get off zero, okay? Because I was wanting to have it out last week, but shit happens. Shit literally happened to me. I'm sitting here. Whoa, fuck. Probably not going to be an extremely long show tonight, guys, because I really honestly should be resting. Because it took this illness, it took a major toll on me. It really did. A major toll on me. And I'm working on getting the Anunnaki the movie out, so I've got to preserve my energy because I'm still. It fucked me up. I don't know what kind of long-term damage it did to me, but it feels like it did something to me. It feels like it aged me 10 years. Man. Now I've been through it just in the past month because I almost died of heat stroke a few weeks ago, back in August. So between the heat stroke incident and now the food poisoning thing, man, I've been through it. I've been run through the ringer. Everybody just donate whatever you can. If you can't donate $20, just buy a download. I don't care don't buy the new movie. Buy a download of a movie from the download store. Everybody listening to this right now. And help us raise $200 by Friday to keep the power and the internet on, okay? Oh, and I did an 8-bit cover of Free Will, the song Free Will by Rush. Played a lot here on the show. But I did an 8-bit cover of it for the new film. I love it. It sounds good. This film's a masterpiece. It really is. The image, I put it up. The image that you see, it's like a guy standing there. I asked an AI image generating software to... You can see this in the preview. It's up on YouTube. You can go watch the preview now. You can see the picture and me explain this. But yeah, that's all true. I'd asked the AI image generating software to generate an image of the simulation theory for me, and it just generated an image of a regular guy. And I went, oh, yeah, that brings us up to date. The simulation theory, according to AI, is just humans. I went, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, there we go, I get it. Yeah. This film, it's got there's AI generated images in the film as well, which is really a game changer for me as far as filmmaking and stuff. I've got some AI generated images for Anunnaki the movie that just are incredible. Yeah. My next. So this is 44. Anunnaki the movie will be 45, which will tie me for the record for most documentaries ever made, making me the tied with the record. And then in October, I'm coming out with a film I've been putting together and working on for many years here and there, and bits and pieces. And it's going to be mega. And that one will put me over 45. Once I'm going to get 46, when I hit to 46, I'm the most prolific documentary filmmaker of all time. Period, end of story. Because 45 is the record, 46 puts me over the record and puts me at the top. And that film coming out in October is going to be called The Complete History of Hermetics. Yeah. This is a film only Josh Reeves could make. Yes, I'm fucking, yeah. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? I'm talking to myself in the third person, yeah. Listen, I'm telling you, this Complete History of Hermetics film coming out next month, it's a film only I could make. Only somebody like me who's been researching all this stuff for this long can make this film. It's going to be fucking mega. I'm so stoked for what I've got coming out. And this new one, the simulation theory. It's just, I've hit that new plateau, that new peak in my filmmaking, just from putting in the hours and doing it, and it really shows. This new one, the simulation theory, I'm so proud of this film, you guys. I think it's it's my 24th of the year, but I think it's undoubtedly the best film I've made this year so far. Without question. Yeah. So do me a favor and do yourself a favor and get a copy of it right now, okay? I try to cap Trump again. Well, they try to make it seem like they did. I don't know. All this stuff with these assassination attempts is so shady. It really is. You know. Listen, whatever it takes. I told you that. I'm on board. Whatever it is. They got to fake a bunch of assassination attempts to get this guy. Because people keep asking me. I was explaining this to someone today. Everybody wants to know. Because some people actually remember. Most people have forgotten. Like they do most of the things I've gotten right. You never notice how everybody remembers everything you got wrong, they never remember what you got right? It's funny. Nobody remembers it back in 2016. All the Trumpies and the Trump fans then were saying, oh, he's not going to win, Crooked Hillary's going to win, Crooked Hillary, they're going to rig it for Crooked Hillary. I said, no, you're wrong. Trump is going to win. They're like, no, he's not. I said, no, he's going to win. He's got the Council for National Policy behind him. He's going to win. I even said that if you watch Spellcasters Volume 1, that came out in July 2016. And I say in that film, Trump will win. Because I knew that he had the CMP behind him and that he was going to win, and that's what happened. So thankfully, a few people do remember that. So people have been asking, what do you think is going to happen in November? What's going to happen with the elections? And I always tell people, listen, don't ask me questions about shit which you don't want the answer to. Alright, because I'm going to shoot it to you straight. Because oftentimes people ask me a question, I'll tell them, oh, no. I'm like, yeah, because you're listening to whatever the talking heads of the Republican Party and the alt-right and right-wing and all that are saying. I am not that, so I'm the only person who can shoot it to you straight. So oftentimes the guy shooting you straight sounds like he's shooting you bullshit. Here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen in November. You ask me an honest question, I'll give you an honest answer. It's going to be the opposite of 2020. 2020 was all about inciting Republican rage. So that what happened on January 6th would happen and, all of that. This time it's the reverse of that. Trump's going to win. They're going to make sure Trump wins. And guess what people are saying to me when I say that to them? No, they're doing the crooked Hillary thing to me. It's going to be rigged for Kamala. Kamala's going, no. No. They're not doing that again. 2020 was all about right-wing Republican rage. 2024 is all about inciting left-wing rage. So that they can bring in... Kamala's going to have her day. It's going to happen. And it's going to be worse than Biden when it does. It's going to happen. But they incited right-wing rage in 2020. 2024 is going to be all about inciting left-wing rage. They're going to make sure Trump gets elected. Trump's going to get elected. They're going to keep on trying to kill him. They probably will be successful at some point. Although, like I said, I've got questions about all that. I mean, look, have you seen his ear? His ear is completely fine. Listen, ears don't grow back, guys. I've talked about this before. Go look up a picture, type Evander Holyfield ear now, or Evander Holyfield ear present day. Evander Holyfield's ear is still gnarled as fuck from where Mike Tyson bit it off. Ears don't grow back. And if Trump got shot in the ear, part of his ear would still be missing. It's not. It looks like nothing ever happened. That's impossible. Ears don't grow back. The cartilage and all that stuff, if a bullet pierces your ear like that, it's going to be fucked up and gnarled for the rest of your life. His is not. But like I said, even if they did fake that shit, I'm here for it because, if it gets him elected and it defeats Kamala, all right. But listen, 2024 is all about inciting left-wing rage. What they did in 2020 where Biden won when it was clear to everybody whether you were a Trump supporter or not, and I was not. But it was even clear to me. It was so crystal clear they rigged that election for Biden. It's going to be the opposite of that this time. They're going to rig it for Trump to win this time. Yeah. Now, people disagree with me when I say that, of course. That's fine. Go ahead and disagree with me. When I'm right, I want you to remember that I said it and I was right, okay? Now, if I'm wrong, I'll admit to that. Got no problem with that. They're going to make it crystal clear Trump's going to win. And they're going to use that to incite left-wing rage for the next 4 years so they can bring in even more crazy socialism in 2028. Yeah. So they can strengthen their cause on the left because it's been degraded to the point where it's weakened by the likes of Biden, Gavin Newsom, Kamala, people like that. So they actually it's actually in the left's best interest for Trump to be elected in November so they can regroup and re-strengthen and re-embolden left-wing causes and Democratic causes and all that. And push for even more wild shit than they already have. That's what's happening. I know what you're saying. I can hear your groans from here. But just remember, I don't want you to not just remember when I'm right to give me that credit. Okay? That's what's coming. 2020 was all about inciting right-wing rage. Left-wing rage is all about 2024. Okay? There you go. Stopping hurricanes is bold, risky, and a failed idea. Some want to try it again. A failed idea, huh? No, it's not. They can do it with HAARP. They can strengthen them. They can weaken them. For 2 decades, a bold and promising experiment sought to answer a wild question. Could scientists artificially weaken hurricanes before they bring devastation to U.S. shores? The short answer was no. At least not that scientists could detect. Despite early hints at success, they concluded in the 1980s that the endeavor, aptly named Project Storm Fury, wasn't worth continuing. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration forbade its scientists from conducting any similar research from that point on. Yeah, Of course they did, because they moved it over to Black Ops so they could use it for weather modification and control, so they could use that to further sell their global warming myth. Same thing they did with Reagan's Strategic Defense Initiative in the 80s, the Star Wars program. Because space-based weapons are illegal. So they acted like it was a failed project, moved it to the black budget, and we've had space-based weapons ever since. Your average dum-dum walks around thinking we don't. But now, as the threat of rapidly intensifying catastrophic hurricanes grows, some want to give the idea of disrupting a storm still far-fetched, but perhaps more necessary than ever, another shot. They are pitching new technologies and approaches that, while introducing intriguing ideas to some experts, also underscore how daunting, costly, and dangerous it could be to control nature. Bullshit. 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 Motherfuckers acting like they ain't been able to control the weather already for decades. Get the fuck out of here. A Norwegian company wants to employ devices it says could cool Atlantic surface waters ahead of storms. The Japanese government is funding research to modify typhoons as part of a program tackling some of the biggest threats to humanity. And there are, meanwhile, broader efforts to engineer a cooler climate and weaker storms, including a White House-sponsored effort to study how blocking out some of the planet-heating sunlight could slow or reverse human-caused climate change. Yeah, geoengineering, which we know for a fact they've already been doing for decades. Watch my film, Whether or Not Skies of Lies. You haven't seen that movie yet? One of my best. It's in the download store. Get it. The concept of altering the weather, technically called weather modification, has increasingly entered the public imagination, especially as warming temperatures have fueled stronger hurricanes. Look, you fucks, again, I'm going to keep bringing this up because to me it's the most important news story I've covered on this show this year. You already let the cat out of the bag, you can't put it back in. You already admitted this year, Washington Post, that cutting emissions has actually made the planet get hotter, not cooler. We were cooling the planet with carbon emissions. Cutting carbon emissions, going to wind turbines and solar energy and electric cars and all that, it's actually made the planet get hotter, not cooler. We would have been better off still driving gas-guzzling SUVs, and the power grid would have been better. But all those power grids that charge those electric cars are all still fired with coal. Get the fuck out of here. We were better off. Humans were better off having business. The idea that our planet isn't amazing and isn't resilient and isn't designed by whatever force, whether you want to call it God or whatever else, to be resilient, and that we puny humans in any way could ever do anything to damage this planet. It's insane and it's egotistical. We sprang up from nothing on this planet. So nothing we could ever do could ever really truly harm it. You ever think about this? No, they haven't. They've never thought about this. See, we like to think that we're so smart. You ever think that oil and coal and all that stuff was put here by whoever the grand architect, the grand programmer? I get into that in my simulation theory movie out now in the download store. Get a copy, please, right now. If this is a simulation, that would all be built into the simulation. The creator of the simulation would build those things into it so that it would protect us, and it has. They've proven and admitted that it has. Burning coal, burning fossil fuels, all that stuff actually was protecting the planet. It was actually keeping it from getting too hot. And we ruined that by going anti-global warming, greeny-meeny, electric car bullshit. We effectively neutered the natural protectants that were happening from our activities, from burning coal and all this stuff. I know, it's a lot to wrap your mind around. I know, but it's the truth. So it makes you wonder, well, maybe that's how the Creator designed it to be. The Creator, the grand architect, whoever the grand programmer of the simulation, wouldn't build something into the simulation that we need for our survival that would do us in. That wouldn't make sense in programming the simulation. It would be like a cheat code on a video game that killed you instead of helped you. Why would you do that? Why would you use a cheat code in a game that killed you, not helped you progress and get farther in the game? That'd be stupid. The idea of using nuclear weapons to fight hurricanes drew some attention after a 2019 report that then President Donald Trump suggested it's something he denied. Dangerous research to weaken tornadoes is central to the plot of the movie Twisters, released this summer. We really do love controlling our surroundings. Oh, we had an earthquake here today. Texas. Dallas. I felt it here. Yeah. A big one. Not just one of these little, 2 magnitude fracking quakes. This is a fucking real deal earthquake, guys. I felt it. Yeah, I was in the bathroom and I thought it was a plane, a low-flying plane that came, like, and it started vibrating for a second. I was like, what the fuck was that? 5.1 magnitude earthquake in West Texas rattles parts of Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Yep, it sure did, and I felt that shit. 5.1. An earthquake with a magnitude of 5.1 struck near Ackerley Monday evening, briefly rattling parts of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Yeah, a 5.1. And the auroras are back, too. Yeah, if you live up in the central north part of America, like, Michigan or on down to Wisconsin, that whole area, if you look in there, y'all are going to be seeing auroras. Probably seeing them right now. Because we're getting hammered with solar flares right now. Because solar cycle 25 ain't done yet. And we ain't even hit the peak. Again, see my film Maximum 25 if you haven't. I made all these fucking great films and most of you haven't bought them or seen them. That's on you. That's your bad. That's your fuck up, not mine. I made them. Anyway, alright. I'm done. I can't do any more tonight. I've got to rest and recoup and so I can get back on the stick to get on and I get the movie made. But I'm on zero, guys, and I've got to eat and get myself back up and running. Dayglow76 at yahoo.com on PayPal. Reeves Radio, all lowercase, one word. Reeves Radio on the Cash App. Capital J Josh, capital R Reeves, -61 on Venmo. And get the newest film, Simulation Theory. It's on the download store now. All right.